HTTV with Illingworth and Gregory. Tommy, how are you feeling? Because obviously you've come back from your foot injury just before we came out here to Austria.
I feel good. I'm feeling, fit, as I'm sure all the lads are. It's been a tough week so far. We've got obviously the game tomorrow, and then we fly home on Saturday. But it's been a tough week. It's been a good week. The lads have bonded well, and as I say, we're all feeling fit and ready to go. And
it's a great time for you to come back as well, obviously, because of the increased training intensity and the amount of training time that we're having over here.
Absolutely, yeah. I've needed it after obviously the layoff I've had since Wembley. So it's been good to get back with the lads before the season started and try and catch up that sharpness and that fitness that I've probably needed.
What's been the hardest thing to catch up on? Is it the building up of match fitness? Is it the ball work? What's the biggest thing for you?
I think it's a bit of everything, really. I think we train really hard day to day. All the lads put in maximum effort on a day-to-day basis on the training ground and in games. So to have 6-7 weeks off like I did and then come back into that, it's obviously difficult. But I'm relatively fit as I am. So getting back into it has been hard, but I feel as though I'm there or thereabouts now. As I say, there's another game tomorrow which I'm hoping to participate in, and then we'll have another week before the Crystal Palace game.
And there's been a lot of training in heat like this. I mean, for you guys obviously running around on the pitch, it's a lot of hard work, but ultimately that will pay dividends going into the season.
I would like to think so, yeah. I mean, the game we played against Stuttgart was very, very tough. It was very difficult conditions against a good opposition, and as you say, hopefully when it comes to the season that'll help us out and it'll pay dividends, as you say. The weather we experienced that game was, as I say, was tricky, and I suppose for everyone's fitness it'll definitely bode well for the future.
And you got 45 minutes under your belt as well. It'd be great for you to build up that match fitness and actually get into game action.
Yeah, I was scheduled to play 45 in that game, and I'm hoping to get some more minutes on the game on Friday against Torino. So hopefully that's the case, and then it'll hopefully stand me in good stead for the Crystal Palace game if selected.
And like you say, the Stuttgart game was in blistering temperatures, but what can you learn from the group from that, especially the first half performance?
Well, it wasn't good enough really. On a whole, we had a chat this morning about that, and there was a lot of things that we needed to do better tactically. The managers obviously said to us that he knew we weren't in the best place physically in terms of our legs. It's been a tough week, but he was keen to stress to us that tactically there was a lot of mistakes in the first half. We had a look at some footage this morning of the game, and we've seen where we went wrong and what we needed to improve on. And I'm sure that before the Crystal Palace game we'll get them issues out the way, and we'll obviously look to kick on.
Like you say though, this is the best time to have those meetings and to make those mistakes, because then you know where you're going wrong going into the start of the season.
Of course, yeah. It's best getting them all out of the way now if there's any issues on the field or even off the field. It's always best to get them out of the way now, so that when we come to the real game time in the Premier League, that we're all ready to go.
One of the positives out of the Stuttgart game was that you could see Huddersfield Town's fight and working attitude going into the end of the game, coming back from 3-1 down to draw 3-3.
Absolutely, yeah. The manager's since he arrived at the club, he was keen to have this Terrier's spirit and never give up and never say die attitude. And in the second half, I think the lads, they were a lot better than the first half group was in terms of the fighting attitude and the spirit, and they got the just rewards in the end by getting the game back to 3-3.
Like you say, it's Torino up tomorrow. It's the final game obviously before the Premier League campaign begins, pre-season friendly. It's almost like a final claim, isn't it, to get your starting spot? You've got to perform in that game to show your worth. Yeah, definitely. I think everyone's got to perform at any given time. It's not just about the last one before the season starts. It's a build-up of the whole pre-season. Everyone's trying to impress, everyone's trying to stake the claim for a spot in the team. And to be fair, I think the lads have conducted themselves and played very well this pre-season from what I've seen. They've all definitely put themselves forward to get into the team.
and only the manager will obviously decide now what happens, but I'm sure either way, whichever route he goes down, that we'll be firing on all cylinders and ready to go.
Because we're so close to the start of the Premier League campaign now, can you feel almost a sense of excitement or some other feelings coming into the weekend before we go to Crystal Palace?
Oh, definitely excitement. I think that's natural, isn't it? To be going into the Premier League season, I think every club's going to be like that, no more so than us. So we're all excited. We're all a bit, obviously, we're anticipating what's going to be in store for us. That type of approach as well. But I think excited's the general feel factor that we're all approaching. Really looking forward to it. We deserve to be there, and let's see what it holds for us.
Thank you, Tommy, and good luck tomorrow.
No problem.